Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit them right in the chest. It be looking like magic, better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone, eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones. And you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long, pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash the scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they seeing double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back, never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag, I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun blast on one out snap. It's a fact that I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, calling audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the...
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to a new episode of Horseshoe podcast. And guess who's on the show? It's a familiar face that everyone knows. And it's our, I wouldn't say special guest or guest speaker, but it's our brother from another CJ Coast fan. What's up, man?
I appreciate y'all. When you said we have a special guest, I was thinking that you was gonna say Harish. I'm just like, hey, listen. He back from vacation. He looks like he looks to be a refreshed guy. He looks like he might have had some pineapple guava juice on a nice island, and I love that for him because you know, Harish, you work hard and you deserve vacation.
I actually had many of those, because they were free and my all inclusive. Shout out to my bartender Eusebio. Eusebio, yeah, my guy. And my
He
girl
sounded like he was
Maria.
a bartender and the massage therapist for the resort that you were at.
Oh, hey, whoa, we're not Justin Tucker here.
And a dancer.
Whoa. First off, wait.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
That's
You
crazy.
come home,
That's crazy.
You come home and this is how you act.
But yeah, man, it's good to have you back, man. I know it's been a while, but you know, this has been in the making for a while, so it's good to have you back. Talk about training camp and amongst other things that we have on our list tonight for the show. But we can't start the show without congratulating our guy Austin Cook for adding another one to their addition to what, Party 4 now? I know you got a dog or a cat, so
Yeah, what is it, Austin? Oh no, don't freeze up now. Don't freeze up now. You can't not move and then think that we just gonna think that your connection froze.
Yeah, and more than 3 words. What's going down?
yes.
I mean, yeah, we're expecting in February.
Hey,
Yeah, buddy. Expecting in February. Do we know boy or girl yet, or is it just no?
Not yet. We're going tomorrow to the appointment to get the blood work and stuff, so we'll know soon.
Nice. February. What are we talking about?
Well, the due date's on Valentine's Day, so the 14th.
Okay.
See, would it be great? You expecting maybe boy or girl and expecting a championship from the Colts? That'd be great one.
Yeah,
At least he knows he's gonna get the boy or the girl.
Right. You meant division title, right?
Yeah, wait, hold on, pump your brakes, because then the division title will be determined about a month before that.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Well, yeah, that's great. What's good, Josh? It's good to have you back in the comments. But yeah, man, we got the Fantastic Four is back tonight, guys. So comment, subscribe, like and share to the podcast on YouTube. So, but we got a great show tonight, man. But before we get into the episode, let's go ahead and shout out to our sponsorship, which is www.fanbattlesports.com. You can check out our podcast, old podcast. You can check out our merch. You can check out articles that's going to be being published on there as well coming soon. So check us out on there. We got big things coming in the future. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Chris, I know you've been pretty busy. I think you interviewed. Did you have an interview this year? You interviewed.
Not as of yet. So just recently over the weekend, the guys had a chance to interview JTT, of course, our second round draft pick. So just talk to him about like some of the defensive stuff, what he's seen so far from Lou, and honestly, it's just the one thing about JTT. I'm going to say that's similar to what we've seen because we had a chance to talk to Kenny Moore, we had a chance to talk to Jalen Jones. They all talk about how aggressive this defense is under Lou Anarumo, and you know that previously under Gus Bradley, the defense being aggressive was like a monkey speaking Japanese. Like it's just like it was something that was never going to happen because he literally was just he just didn't have a great scheme. But he just spoke to how he's been able to adjust, how this defense is not only going to give him the opportunity to just go ahead and excel in what he excels in as being a power rusher, but also it's going to be just a lot of different fits to where he's he's he knows that he's going to do well. We think that he's going to do well, but I think it's also he understands that there will be a lot that's asked of him, and so he's going to have to make sure that he's just frequently just kind of keeping his head on the swivel when it comes to
Most definitely. And it's good to have him on our side. He's that guy he's a great power rusher. He can definitely get to the quarterback, and he's in a scheme where Lewis is famous for that. So it's good to have that in a great interview. I did get the chance to watch that. I think we first published it the other day. I was excited to see that a rookie, being preparing for his first year in the NFL, and got a big year coming.
that.
Other than that, other than just interviewing him, what was the process like? Just being in that camp for you. I know like it's your second year. I think last year you went for like one day.
Yeah, well, no, well, last year I had a chance to watch as both a spectator and a member like of the media. So, it's surreal because of the fact that you get to see like I got to meet Carly Ursay Gordon last year. Like she was actually on the field, with the family, super nice, very sociable, everything. Got to meet Rigoberto Sanchez. He was out there with his family. I mean, the one thing about the Colts is that this is a very, very family oriented, I'm going to say, organization, and they're always going to make people feel welcome. Even the people that I spoke to, like, had a chance to just meet a lot of great people, talk to a lot of people, and I mean, like I think and I know that I've given them hell, in years past because it's just like, yeah, we just need to not have as many Boy Scouts and this, that, and the other, which I still do feel to a certain extent, but also I understand that you're not going to have some of the issues that you've had previously where it's just like people get in trouble with the law, people that are just going to be like crazy holding out, hearing like seeing what you see, with Micah Parsons right now, like, oh yeah, that's part of negotiations, just be like, I don't know what part of negotiation somebody says I don't want to be here anymore. But I mean, cool, Jerry. I mean, yeah, we're all stupid. But it was cool seeing it. And then like I said, we had a chance to go to the camps for um Josh Downs, for Kenny Moore, and I mean even Josh Downs, like he had his whole family out there, and then he also had the people within his organization, the people that they chose for the charitable side, for all those things, and with his dad being a former player, you get to see like how they handle things, and you get to see like Josh Downs is never going to be somebody who is ever going to be in anybody's headlines for anything other than football or possibly getting an extension. And I think that's the thing that to me is the most important because like I said, it's just like you don't want distractions. You absolutely don't want distractions, but also at the same time, you want guys who are going to go out there and produce. And I think we've had a chance to see that.
It's good. I think another person you was able to meet as well too. Our OC. You know his name.
JBC, JBC,
You should. I think it's something
What's
else.
his name?
What's his name?
JBC.
That's not what I know him by. That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it's oh, my bad. I'm sorry. It's James Robert Charcuterie Board. You're
That
welcome.
sounds about right. That's close enough.
You're welcome. I
I'm
listen. I can listen. Like Captain America said, I could do this all day. So,
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't.
gonna get to
nah,
the
look,
comments. Hey
gotcha.
Stacy, Teresa, what's going on? And what's going on, Sarah? But yeah, let's go ahead and get into these um get into the show. We got a a good one today. Uh, so Chris, I'll start with you first, since you not the guest, but you're the brother from another. What's your take with the quarterback competition? Right now it's neck and neck, but who do you think probably has that edge?
All right. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm actually going to give you a hot take. I feel like it was always Anthony's job. It was always Anthony's job unless Anthony proved that he had not progressed, developed, or learned anything from last year. So, when they say things like, okay, right now it's neck and neck, that lets me know that Anthony Richardson probably is going to be the guy going into week one because there's no reason why Daniel Jones, being a 6-year veteran, should be neck and neck with somebody who needed to develop and do all these things in order for him to prove that he earned the job. When you're neck and neck with somebody like that, I think you have to look at it from two perspectives. That means that Daniel Jones is literally like where he is, and that's pretty much as far as he's going to go. Or Anthony Richardson has made sure that he's improved his game and he's kind of evolved his game in a way where you're seeing that he's made those changes in real time. But also, it's to the point where it's just like Daniel Jones isn't doing any better than he ever has. And so, like, yeah, it's going to be certain things. Like I think last week when they talked about that pass that he threw to Tyler Warren, where everybody was just like, "Oh yeah," like from far away, it looked like it's a one-handed grab and all this. It's like in a real game, that's a hospital ball because that man on the way down, he's going to get hit more than once. And it's because of the fact that you're airmailing a ball way too high, knowing the tight end is probably going to go up and get it just to make sure that we get a conversion. And to me, it's just like that was his biggest issue. Like anything outside of 10, maybe 15 yards, Daniel Jones generally will throw something that is either going to be wildly out of place or is going to potentially be a hospital ball. And I mean, we saw it last year when it came to Malik Neighbors. Like Malik Neighbors trying to go and make a play, he went in. I think it was on an out. I think it was maybe like 20, 25 yards down the field. He throws the ball. Malik Neighbors trying to catch it, gets a concussion because of how far out it is and how high it is. But once again, Malik Neighbors is a playmaker, so he's going to try his best. And so I think that's where you see that Daniel Jones, yeah, like I think Daniel Jones was meant to be like the figurative challenge for him because Daniel Jones is young enough where you have to really take him seriously. I don't think you could take Joe Flacco seriously and think that he's just going to be I don't think that he's going to be like a 3-4 year guy who's going to be here and who's potentially going to carry your team. That's not the case.
So you get valid points there. And before I kick it to the other guys, you like his statement what he said about Tom Brady? Even if they brought in Tom Brady, that he still would just have to uh, beat him out and win the job, and pretty much just him versus himself for his competition. You think that's a little of
Yeah.
an outreach, or just him just having the
Well,
confidence?
no, well, I don't think it's a bad quote because I mean the man's talking about the fact that no matter who's brought in there, he's gonna have to work. Like the thing for him is that he has to prove himself, right? He has to prove that because and he said this last week in one of the interviews, he said, I'm going to have to prove to the organization that they were correct in using the number 4 overall pick on me back in 2023, and he's going to have to do that either for the rest of his career here or he's going to have to prove that wherever else he may be if for some reason this year doesn't end up going the way that it's supposed to go. So my issue that I have is with everybody trying to dissect it as if he said something that was incorrect. Like he knows that he has to work and he understands that. And I think that's a far cry difference from what we saw last year, where everybody was basically saying after the tap out that he wasn't taking it seriously, that he wasn't doing the things that he's doing now. But now that he's doing them, it's up to him to A, make sure that he's doing them consistently, and B, making sure that everything that he's doing, all this good stuff that he's piling up, that he continues to pile on top of that so that he can just continue to prove himself.
Ever since he said that the NFL is easier than college, that everything he says is pretty much is going to be, taken out of context. But
Everything is. He's a young quarterback like that's going to say, "Oh yeah, well, the in or the college is or however he said it, like NFL's easier than college." Yeah, because I mean, you go to work every day and that's fine, but the thing is it's not like you have to go to work and study for football in addition to going to your AP Calc class or whatever class you were in when you were at University of Florida. Like, I mean, I get that, but you know, I think Anthony Richardson is very easy to just go and make headlines about. That's why you see like even some of these weird old guys who used to be media relevant who are just trying to make themselves into political hotbeds now. They're sitting there saying, "Oh well, oh he thinks that he would beat out Tom Brady." It's just like, no, dingus. Like it's just like he said that if he was going against Tom Brady, the approach would have to be the exact same thing. And that's my biggest thing with it. Like he's speaking to the fact that he knows that there's still a job that needs to be done, and then that's just what it is.
I agree. Uh, Harish, what's your take on that? Who you think has the edge? Uh, and then your take on the quote that he made,
Well,
referencing Tom Brady.
I don't think there was ever really a competition, but that's neither here nor there. I think it's kind of what Chris said, right? Like this is less about Anthony Richardson versus Daniel Jones and more about Anthony Richardson versus himself, right?
Exactly.
Like this is about has he learned like Chris said, has he learned anything? Is he growing? Okay, yes. Day one, we now know he can do this. Can he do it for 2 days in a row? No, screw 2 days. Can he do it for 2 plays? Can he do it for 5 plays? Can he do it for 15 plays? Okay, one practice is done. Can he come back the next day and do the exact same thing? Awesome. He can do that. He's like we the page I think Chris Ballard ironically, so awkwardly, like I think during his like pre-training camp presser, was talking about how like we have to be patient with Anthony Richardson. We have to do all this Chris Ballard jumbo stuff that he says every
Hmm.
right. But the truth is that we don't want Anthony Richardson to be an MVP this year. What we want Anthony Richardson to be is we want him to show us consistency. We want him to show us that there is something that happens from week to week, and that week to week, sometimes it could be, and progression can be a lot of different things. To me, like that last week was all about he's improved his footwork, he's improved like his throwing motion during the offseason. Is he doing that consistently during the first week of camp? To me, so
Yep.
far, check the box. Yes. Now you start to now the next thing is we're hearing a lot of like he's doing really really well at layering passes, running the offense, being in control of the offense, and we're seeing a lot of the good throws because he feels comfortable in the offense, and he's doing a lot of those things. So now it's like okay, week 2 so far, right? It's been 2 days. Checkbox. The next
Hmm.
checkbox to me is Thursday,
Hmm.
right? I need to see like a good quarter. I have yet to see a good quarter of football from Anthony Richardson his 2 years here.
Yeah.
No. I have yet to see a good quarter of football. He's had good moments across the last 2 years, but I can't be like, well, maybe there was one game where I was like, oh wow, that was a really good half of football from him.
Yeah.
Um,
I would give
I
the full quarter against the Patriots, where he went like completed those, I think 3 or 4 fourth down conversions.
I think
yeah, that was that the fourth quarter of that game. Was that last year?
I think that was last year, and I think also and not necessarily to just try to say no, he's had great games. It's just like I think he's had more than that, but the problem is that the performances are so far and few in between.
Yeah,
Like we know, like the first Houston game during his rookie season, like we know it's just like that's the one where I think it's just like he ran for the touchdown, or he passed for a touchdown and then he ran for a touchdown. And I think when he ran for a touchdown, that's when he got the concussion,
yeah.
and that was like the culmination. But it's like the Patriots, it's just like the Jets. Like the crazy thing is, it's just like we've seen him being able to lead game-winning drives while not necessarily having a great game. Or we've seen him be able to get off to a hot start, but then get hurt, right? So the problem is you have all these instances where you see him being able to do this in this situation, do this in this situation, and do this and this. We have so many situational or momental or momentous things, but the problem is that we've never been able to get that all together for quarters. And so
Yeah.
that's the reason why, like, when it comes to that, it's the consistency of him being able to do that. Like, I think I just said that, like I said, just an hour or so ago. If he's having this good of a camp, then now, this Thursday, this is when we're going to see exactly how everything comes together.
Right.
Because I want to see against a team like the Ravens, and I don't care whether it's first team or second team, I need to be able to see that you are able to take everything that you've done, all that development, all the good looks that you've had. I want to see you do that against a team that's not us, and be able to do it consistently under duress, because the Ravens are going to send pressure. They're
Yep.
going to do all those things. So we have to be able to see him, I'm going to say I want to see how he goes when he is uncomfortable. And when
Yeah.
he gets uncomfortable, when he's not able to go ahead and have everything lined up for him properly, when the O line might be breaking down, or when one of his receivers is covered, what is he doing in the meantime? Because that's going to be the big thing. Is he going to be throwing short intermediates? Is he going to make sure that he just takes the check down? Is he going to be able to throw it touch consistently if the game requires that? Those are all the things that we would like to see, and that's all going to be in a real game situation come this Thursday. So I'm 100% with you, Harish, in regards to that, in terms of
Yeah.
seeing exactly what he's going to do in that situation specifically.
I think selfishly also, like taking even that like a step back, right? Getting to game day. Will he play the full like quarter and a half? Or is he getting dinged up? Is he like leaving because of whatever? Like I want to be able to also see as we progress through this preseason that he actually gets through a half of football and we're good, right? Again,
Hmm.
some of that is uncontrollable, but we also have this history of him, right?
Yeah,
That says that he can't do that. And because he can't do that, he can't get better. And this
yeah,
is like really the time that he can use to like bring that stuff in real game scenarios, albeit it's against twos, it's against 15s, it's against 36s. It doesn't matter. Like you're
yeah,
playing a scheme that's been plotted against you, and how do you react and how do you and so that I think that's the next level of development that I'd like to see for him. And then we'll see what happens week one from there, right? I think these next 3 weeks, I'd like to actually see him play maybe a little bit more than we normally intend guys to see play. I think just
yeah,
because of the lack of experience he has, um, just in general. Sorry, I just
yeah.
had sorry, Austin Cook. But I just had to get that off.
Well, before
No,
you
you're
get
gonna have a lot to say, so I wanted to get that thought off real quick.
into your analysis, Austin, you guys remember the first week of training camp, the thing, day one, Lou defense was giving Daniel and AR fits. It was
Hmm.
uncalled.
Yeah,
So you say you're seeing that, and you see him bounce back and have those string of good days, and then of course bad days because you're gonna have them, and then back to having good days. So yeah, go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, so as they said, I didn't think it was like a necessarily a competition. I thought the only way Daniel Jones is gonna start is if he just shows up and is better than he's ever been, or AR showed up and he's worse than he's been since he's been in the league. Um, and everything we've seen has shown AR's been improving. Um, so I feel like it's AR's job to lose. And then the quote, I just think it's a mindset thing. It wasn't like people, like you said, people take things he says out of context. They take things everyone says out of context. And I just think it was a mindset thing more than anything. Um, but yeah, like you said, he had a bad day a few days ago. Um, and then the next day he bounced back, and that's what we needed to see. We didn't need to see another bad day, him stacking up bad days. And
yeah,
the bounce back was important to see because it shows he's in a better headspace than he has been in the past, and he is improving, and he's showing improvement every single practice.
He was excited to see, him trimming down, looking more, he lost weight and looked more, leaner and able to be that guy that can perform on the field and not be so heavy as he was coming in the league. I think he came in at 250 or 260. That's pretty
Yeah,
heavy. Now he's at 240,
yeah,
245 in those numbers. Um,
yeah, and a little bit more discipline too, because he cut out the sugars, like all that stuff. Like I think, and I think that also just speaks to once again like the maturation process, the discipline, because it's just like we can look at it this way. It's just like he came in, and I say it all the time that AR is like I don't know if anybody ever saw that movie like Star Kid, like when they were younger, like literally, it's just like it's like a kid who finds like this alien, body, like a spacesuit type of thing, and for like the first, hour and 15 minutes of an hour and a half movie, he has no idea what he's doing with it. Like, is able to do all these things that has super strength, super speed, but he doesn't know how to control it. And then finally, he gets a grasp on it, and that's what AR is. AR is essentially like he was drafted at 20 years old. And
yeah,
so he was drafted at 20 years old because of freak athleticism, able to do all the front flip or the back flips, and has this freakishly strong arm and is fast. But the problem is that he was somebody who was injured often. He was somebody who didn't know how to truly just go and make sure that he's keeping himself safe, which resulted in injury. And I think now it's just like you slim down to 240, like you lose, 15 to 20 pounds, and then on top of that you work on conditioning, you start to get that discipline. So I think now, the athleticism, all that is like that, it's still there, but now we're going to see that he's working on things that matter most, like once again discipline, the mechanics, his footwork, the things that you need to do to have repetition doing in order for you to be able to go into games and know that if everything is breaking down, that you still have options other than just taking off running and putting yourself in harm's way just in case somebody tries to hit
yeah. He's working on his check downs as well too, taking the layups. That's
you.
been the biggest issue with them, and some of that's on Shane as well because he utilizing the guy that has, like you said, the superpowers, but he don't know how to use those superpowers yet. So
Yeah,
he's able to throw those, vertical passes, 15 to 20 times a game, which we don't need that. Utilize your running back, utilize your now Tyler Warren, and those, those other weapons you have, AD Mitchell, Josh Downs, those guys. That way you have to lean on your gifts the entire game. So,
yeah.
anything else you want to add before we move on?
I think Austin had something to
Nah, I don't think so.
say.
Austin got the AL jersey ready for the baby. But uh, since we're still on the same topic, Shane announced that AR would be the starter on Thursday versus the Ravens. I think he said a quarter and a half that he have him playing before I think going into Daniel Jones and then the rest of the quarterbacks in that game. And then week 2 versus Packers, Daniel Jones will start a quarter and a half, and then uh, AR would uh, get in the second portion. Were we all surprised about this? Him starting?
No, no, I don't think that. I don't think that Daniel Jones. Now, mind you, it's still a QB competition, but I don't think that Daniel Jones has necessarily shown enough to just be the runaway winner of the QB1 spot.
Yeah.
And I truly don't believe that he is, barring anything major, I don't think that he's going to be the starter. And that's only because of the fact that AR had to come in here and prove that he worked in the offseason. Now, while he didn't go to the mechanics coach Chris Hess, he sat down with, his QB coach. He sat down with JVC. They basically went and made sure that they mapped out everything that was going on with them, went over film, did everything they needed to, and then he actually still did the work. He just didn't go specifically to the guy. So he did do the work in the off season. We saw that he was with his agent, and I think he was with DJ Lagway, and they were also training in the off season. Like there was more than one thing that was done to make sure that AR was going to be ready for the season, which is all the more reason why that he had to work and do everything that he needed to in order to have that spot. And honestly, it's just like I think this is going to be a much greater test because Daniel Jones is definitely going to be working against Green Bay's number twos next week. But AR may just be working against number ones this week in terms of playing against like the number one defense, kind of doing that. So I think that's going to be more telling than if it was the reverse. Because like I said, it's a quarter and a half, so might have the number ones for a series or two, but then he's still going to be able to work against the Baltimore Ravens in terms of who's there. So that's going to be, I'm going to say, even more telling.
I agree. What you guys think? You guys surprised him being named as a starter for that quarter and a half against the Ravens? Or you just think he should play more? What you guys think? I go with Austin since Teresa let Daddy speak.
No, I'm not surprised, from everything that we talked about before, everything that's led up to this point. I feel like, he should be named the starter, but they're obviously not gonna name the week 1 starter right now, so, we'll have to take this for now, but I'm not surprised about it.
What about you, Harish? Same. Oh, you frozen. You, you look like a Call of Duty avatar.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy. He's
I
paused
wish
for
I
real.
could screenshot this because this looks crazy.
Go ahead.
I
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Bam.
there. Oh,
There
oh
you go
no.
again.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine.
um, but yeah, I'm not surprised either. It was expected. Having good camp days, stacking those days. I feel like he would get the first shot at it, and he would have that opportunity on Thursday, which I'm in a dilemma right now because I got Madden and I got football, so I don't know what I'm gonna do.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it. I'm telling
All of
you,
it.
all of it. Uh, Go ahead, Harish, with your take on. Were you surprised him being named the starter?
Oh, he can't hear anything. Harish said, of course, he's not surprised AR is going to be the starter, and he loves Chris Ballard.
Ooh, let's see, I think he
And
having.
he said I heard him say Michael Pittman was wide receiver 1.
He's
Crazy.
He's definitely coming back and speak on that one before he says anything else. We'll move on until he get back and he'll pick up where we left off. So another thing too, Chris, the defense been looking good.
Hmm.
New defense transitioning from the cover two zone defense from Gus Bradley. Now we move on to uh, Lou and his defense. And according to what I read in the report, been reported, they was giving Lamar fits today in the joint practice.
Yeah.
Uh, what are your take on it? Are you excited, or are you just step one of you know 17 games, or years to go?
No, I think it's the way that we're going to end up seeing the way that we're going to see this defense. I think, well, for one, because Lou, former Bengals defensive coordinator, he knows Lamar Jackson very well. So, he's very familiar with them. But I mean, honestly, they're using the defense the way the defense should have been used for the last 3 years. They're
Yes.
allowing them to be aggressive. They're allowing them to, go to the point of attack. You're allowing your corners who have the ability to press. You're allowing your corners who have the ability to play man. And so right now, the fact that they were giving Lamar fits, I mean, mind you, it is training camp, so Baltimore is also working on new installs for their offense and everything else. So I get that, but also we have to remember that this is also the same team that wasn't able to generate any pressure. So the fact that you're actually getting pressure on Lamar Jackson is a very, very big deal. And I think it needs to be highlighted a little bit more that this defense is going to be more aggressive. As I stated before, it's just like, Kenny, JTT, Jalen Jones, they all said that this defense is way more aggressive. And they
Wally.
also were just they were very much happy with how this defense complements them being able to be aggressive. Jalen Jones, I mean, dude's like 6'3". He has arms that it's just like I think his hands can touch his knees if he's standing straight up. I might be exaggerating, but either way, just go with that.
Yeah,
But it's but the thing is like, how do you not use that in press coverage and force him to basically just play zone 98% of the time when you're in a game? Like it's malpractice for a defensive coordinator to not use those types of attributes to your advantage.
I agree. And I'm excited to see what I know it's a small sample on Thursday, but I'm excited to see what will look like for our first game with the new DC. Uh, Go ahead, Arish. What you think about how the defense been looking and them giving Lamar Fitz, even though he's seen his defense for years,
Yeah.
but just seeing it on a different team. And still,
Yeah, I think it's good. Like I think it's good to hear the guys be like, yeah, I'm like this is a really fun defense to play. And I think that's the number. We all knew the problem was 80% the scheme, 90% the scheme, right? I
Yeah,
don't want to take away that like 10% is still on the players. Like there are players on this defense that just simply did not perform last year,
right?
right? Um, but I think you feel the energy from the defense. And when guys say, "Hey, it's been a lot of fun," like I'm doing things I wish I've always been doing. It feels like guys are a lot more comfortable in this defense, a lot more quicker. Probably because they're doing stuff that they're used to doing. Like that's why they were drafted. They were drafted because they were really good in pass rushers. They were
yeah,
drafted because they could play really good, press coverage, in a cover two and in cover two, right? Like this is right. This is why some of these guys were brought here, and we just had a 14th century defensive coordinator that didn't want to do any of that stuff. So,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Again, it's just going to come down to what does it look like on the field? Like, how does it look to play, drive to drive, game to game? I think it's all about. It all sounds fun in practice, right? Practice is fun. Like it's exciting. It's new. We're finally here, but how does that progress over the season? That's what I'm most interested in because last year I remember because I said it. I was like, I looked at the first preseason game. I was like, dang, pass rush is so much better. And then by the end of the season, like, dang, it still doesn't exist for the 10th straight year.
Yeah,
So, I mean, we'll just see how it progresses. I mean, I'm in such a state of like, and I think a lot of Colts fans are. I'm just in a state of I need consistency everywhere before I can go like falsely like believe in anything at this point. Um, and so to me, it all sounds great. I want to see it for 4 plays. I want to see it for 4 series. I want to see it for 4 quarters. I want to see it for 4 games, so on and so forth. That's my biggest thing at this point.
yeah,
Valid points. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, it's obviously exciting coming going from Gus Bradley's defense to Lou's defense just from the little we've seen so far. You hear all the players, like y'all mentioned, talk about how much more aggressive the defense is and how much they're allowing them to press. And it we just needed to switch it up because we've seen our defense get killed. We've seen our guys back off and let them get easy first downs on 3rd and longs
yep,
for too many years. So even if it was just this one day that we're playing against uh, the Ravens in training camp, it was exciting to see growth and see our guys actually give an MVP caliber quarterback some problems. So yeah, I mean it's just exciting.
yeah,
Teresa made a good point. She said that she thinks Tyler Warren made our offense line a lot more better, and we knew that coming into the draft that he would definitely help. Along with let me say Moella Cox is good at pass blocking as well.
I don't
Along
know what
with,
he's good at. I still don't know what he's good at.
I know you hate him. Well, you
I
hate him. You just don't
I
really like
but
him.
you know what I'm gonna because I gotta be with Harish on this one because I think the other thing that we also gotta be honest about is the fact that and this is even I'm going to say the sentiment that's been going around. Mo Ali Cox has had the opportunity to establish himself as tight end one and never has. And this is even when there were numerous chances for him to just go and just actually like just he's essentially the only guy in the room at one point and he never was able to do it. And I think for me, I'm not like when because I believe that you have three tight ends who are looking for contracts this year. And ultimately, I think you only give away one because Tyler Warren is, of course, going to be that guy. And then Will Mallory, that isn't due to be signed until next year. So, I mean, if we're being honest, it's between Ogletree, Mo Ali Cox, and Jelani Woods, which means to me, you're automatically going to be, I'm going to say, narrowing that down to Jelani Woods and Drew Ogletree. Because Mo Ali Cox already proved that when you give him a contract, he's not going to live up to it. And it was a small contract. It's like 2 years, like what, 2 years, $8 million
Eight
or
million, wasn't it? Yeah.
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 And the thing is, even then, it's just like it didn't make sense. But now it's just like I feel like if you get a healthy year out of Ogletree, or if Jelani Woods actually is able to play this season, you're going to see that those two will eclipse him in that way because now you have two guys who are not only younger but have a better skill set altogether. Like I think Mo Ali Cox is probably like it's disappointing because you want him to be the guy and he's a guy that you want to root for, but his production just says that while I like you as a person, you're just not doing it when it comes to actually having that production on the field.
I I'll still blame that on Chris Ballard because you bring a guy that leaves basketball, which is that's his profession. He's great at basketball. You bring him in to be a tight end, never develop as a tight end. He's been what tight end one. He said for years. They end up drafting tight ends to take his spot. They wasn't good enough to take his spot. Not saying Ogletree couldn't, but Ogletree was buried in depth. Colin Granson was buried. He pretty much was our fastest tight end. Mallory could stay healthy. Jelani can't stay healthy. So now you got a guy that's a freaking nature at tight end. You got a Grunt, Greg Kittle type of tight end. This guy here is gonna, like you say, eclipse anything that Mo has ever done in his 6-7 year career in
Yeah.
Indy. So I'm excited to see that for the offense moving forward, especially like you said for on offensive line. Teresa got to come in for you.
6 week with yo.
Oh, dang. She already planning it
It's
out,
on the
bro.
spot.
Yo, how you gonna listen? Listen, I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. Austin, when the time comes, he will not only be able to be on here, he's going to be hosting, holding a newborn baby, and it is
All at the
going to be
same time.
glorious. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I know Austin, and you know what? I see it. Austin was playing the long game
He's
because you know what he did? He said, "I'm not going to host yet. I'm going to pull the ultimate boss move, and I'm going to be hosting while holding a newborn because
there
then
you
I
go.
will be undeniable." That's exactly what he was doing. You
That,
know what,
that's
Austin? It took me a
really
while
a
to
good
figure
boss
it out,
move.
but I see what you did.
That's really a good boss move, man. That's some boss stuff right there.
He's
I
gonna show
see it.
everybody up.
So
He
hey,
always does.
hey, everybody, come February, just remember, Austin's going to be holding a newborn and hosting at the same time. Okay, book it,
Ooh, book it.
book it.
Cook it.
He is the mob.
One last thing before we go ahead and wrap this up and get out of here, so the fellas can enjoy their night, and of course, Austin can continue celebrating. A.D. Mitchell, stock.
You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
Before I started, I said I'm gonna give this. I was hand this over to Mr. Harish, who is loving this. And I'm sure he probably stayed up all night just watching all type of tweets and videos of his guy, A.D. Mitchell. I think he was praying this earlier before he got on. He's praying for 10 touchdowns this year. So, Harish,
Oh, ain't no brand, my guy. He's getting 10.
what is your
He's
take
getting 10.
on your guy, stock rising?
I think there's a couple things. Number one, obviously, Anthony Richardson playing well has also elevated AD Mitchell, right? Because I think part of AD Mitchell's challenges last year, struggles, challenges, whatever you want to call them, was Anthony Richardson. Couldn't get him the ball. He was like at one point, he was the most. There's a stat on stupid PFF. What do they call it? It's like the most separation by yards per route or
Yeah,
some weird
separation.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
And we couldn't get him the ball, right? Secondly, I think he's just more comfortable. I watched an interview with AD Mitchell today. He just looks more comfortable. He's like it's almost like he's figured it out, right? And like he gets how to be a pro. He's had a full off season. He's not going through this draft thing where he's fresh. He was still frustrated. Like in the back of his head, he still had the fact that, yo, I should have been a first round pick, which he should have been, right? And he wasn't. Like that's not in the back of his head anymore. He's put all that stuff behind him, and he's focusing on football. He's gotten, you know, I think there's a level of focus that he has now that he didn't have last year. And I think that's
Hmm.
helped him mentally. I think that's helped him on the field. You could see it when he talks to the media. He looks more comfortable.
Yeah,
He doesn't look shaky. He's chilling. If Anthony Richardson continues to grow, him and AD are going to be a lethal combination.
yeah.
I have seen AD Mitchell at his peak as a route runner when he doesn't look. Anthony Richardson doesn't need to get him the ball in the perfect spot every single time. I promise you, he doesn't. That dude gets open so much. He's going to find the football. Um, so yeah, I mean, and you don't need to convince me. I told y'all 2 weeks ago that was my hot take. AD Mitchell is going to get 10 touchdowns this year. He might not have as many yards, but he's going to get 10 touchdowns.
I
And
believe
that's
that.
just because his ability to separate. He's going to be the people are going to be like, oh, go look at Tyler Warren. AD Mitchell is going to cook in the red zone if they can figure that out.
Judging by what we saw from tweets and stuff like that from the beat writers, Eddie Mitchell was cooking Ravens defense. So I mean, just seeing that, that's a plus. I mean, he had his moments. He had several games this past season where he was open, like you said, quarterback play prevented him from getting those completions. Even with the game against the Texans where he cooked Darius Stingley, and you know what type of guy he is, he's all pro cornerback, cooked him several times in that game, been able to get those completions. So he has it in him. He just, like you said, him and AR stacking of those days together, like as they did with AR and Josh Downs, we'll see a different AD Mitchell this season and years to come. So I'm excited for that as well. Go ahead, Austin. What you think about AD Mitchell stock rising?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's always great to have a good young player on your favorite team, stock rising. So if I mean, if he can continue to get better, we have him, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman. I think our receiving core can do some things this year as long as we stay healthy. So yeah, I mean, our offense, as long as they are, like Curry said, as long as they are grows and continues to grow, we could have a really good offense and a really good defense for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I don't want to have to be having a snooze fest. Have your offense go three and out, and defense get on the field and get cooked, and then offense get back on there, and then same thing repeat itself. Go ahead, CJ. What's your take on that? You know, on
No,
that.
it's it's crazy because we got flashes of that last season, and I mean we could I mean we saw AD be able to cook guys like Derek Stingley, and mind you, the past well against the Houston or against the Texans when he cooked Stingley, all it was just it was a miscommunication and it wasn't a connection. Otherwise, he catches a touchdown on him easily. He
Yes,
did the same thing. I think he did the same thing against Snead too when we played Tennessee in the first game or in the first game of that series. So it's not to say that AD can't do it. It's just the fact that they just weren't on the same page last season, and then also it was about the fact that he just would not catch anything over the middle, which I think this year we'll see a little bit more from. I think you have somebody who, even though I don't think that he is just going to automatically just cook any cornerback that comes his way, I think more often than not you'll see that he's going to provide you with those plays where he's going to catch somebody off guard and he's going to catch somebody. And I think he'll be able to do it enough consistently to where that 10 touchdowns is 100% possible. Like the same way that Alec Pierce last year was 32 receptions, but he had 800 yards. I can see something like that similarly for AD because I think he's that much of a home run threat for anybody because of how deceptively quick he is off the line of scrimmage.
and it's definitely good when you have guy uh, who's supposed to be in the Hall of Fame, advocating for you. The guy I'm talking
Oh
about
yeah.
is Dwayne, or Dwayne
Oh
Allen.
yeah.
For Alec Pierce, he's advocating for AD Mitchell. He just need time, and
Oh
it
yeah.
takes time. I'm not the one that giving up on AD Mitchell. I did with Alec Pierce, and I was wrong for that.
I did too. I was wrong also.
So with AD Mitchell, I'm giving him time because I knew what I think we all think. I think we usually hear on draft day. We said AD Mitchell pick will help Alec Pierce. It did.
Yeah.
More receptions gives him 1,000 yards. But he had chunk plays. He chunk plays against Alec Pierce. I'm sorry, Alec Pierce had chunk plays against the Texans. Both games he had chunk plays against Jaguars. He always have those games against Jaguars. Eddie Mitchell can do the same exact thing. He can play. He can do verticals. He's underneath. He's that. He's probably the most complete receiver for his route running, along with Josh Downs and sort of kind of with Michael Pittman, but I got faith in him and his ability to compete on the field. Like you said, just quarterback play will help him have those stats and have those numbers. And like you said, for as him being maybe afraid of taking hits, that'll come as well. I mean, we had a guy like T.Y. Hilton who was small,
Yeah.
didn't like taking hits, but he was a burner.
Oh yeah.
And
100%.
his name is Ghost for a reason. He wasn't getting touched nowhere. So I'm excited to see what he can bring to this offense. Having all those weapons, I think we probably, like you said, like Austin said, having Eddie Mitchell, having Josh Downs, having uh, Alec Pearson, Pittman, and then just add Tyler Warner in that mix. That's a deadly offense, offense weapons. And then you have your running backs in the back out the backfield. That's scary. Just have one component is the quarterback.
Hmm.
If he can put it together, get himself together, I have no problem saying that our offense and defense can be top 10 or top 15.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool
100%.
for sure. I
You don't
think the
have that. You
biggest
don't.
thing. Good.
No, go ahead, Harish. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say to me, the biggest thing that shows growth in this offense, right? I look at a macro level now is like the guys are running really good short routes,
Yeah.
and Anthony Richardson's able to get them the ball and they're able to catch it. Like we have to, and I can't forget that these receivers, obviously minus Tyler Warren, were also responsible for the poor completion percentage that Anthony Richardson had last year because they
Yeah.
had so many drops, right? So slants, drags, things over the middle, these short routes are going to be the most important. Screen plays, like that's how you, what's the word? That's how you inflate that number. Guys aren't getting 70% completion percentage by chucking the ball 15 yards down the field every play. They're throwing it deep. They're throwing it short, and the receivers are catching the ball and getting in space. And that's I'd rather a 5 yard play on first down. That's a short hitch pass, right? Then Anthony Richardson is scrambling around and losing 3 yards because he has to run out of bounds, right? So I think Tyler Warren's a huge safety blanket for him. He was missing that all last year as well.
Yeah.
I think just seeing all that come to play together, like I can see the vision. You got to see it on the field.
Yeah. I think when it comes down to the I'm going to say the offensive side of things, you have to remember this team offensively, we were top 10 in rushing and we were 27th in passing.
Yep.
And so like I don't think it's necessarily impossible to say that if Anthony Richardson is able to stay healthy and the improvements that he's shown can be what they're supposed to be, because I think it's all going to work together. Let the rushing attack stay exactly where it is. If the rushing attack is eighth in the league again, then that's fine. But if the passing is, let's just say, a top 20 passing attack, even at 20, and then the defense, which was 29th last year, actually ends up being another top 20 defense, that's going to take this team from 8-9 potentially to like, and I don't, and I'm, it's going to sound homerish of me. This is going to take a team that was 8-9 last year to put to, I'm going to say at best like an 11-6. I'm going to say maybe a little bit more feasible for them to be 10-7. And
Yeah.
also in this division, I don't think that's hard to say because in this division specifically, I don't believe the Houston Texans just automatically have it sewn up. I think that they've taken
Yeah.
advantage of the fact that there was a lot going on, because even with us having all the issues that we had last year, we still were 8-9. And you would have thought that with all the drama, all the chaos that we had, a terrible defense, terrible passing attack, and just the overall drama that we had throughout the season, that we would have been like a 4-13 team. But we were 8-9. So, like I said, if those incremental changes are made to where we're top 20 on both sides of the ball, I think, because last year we were what? I think with the 8th and 27th. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I know that 8th and 27th doesn't come out to like a 13th overall offense. But if you're 8th in rushing and you're 20th in passing, that's going to move your stock up. Then you potentially have a top 12 offense, which, yes, that's going to be a good thing. But then also, if you have a defense that now goes from 29th to 20th, it's going to do dividends. So I think everything has the opportunity to work together. It's really just going to be about us being able to like really just take advantage of it, stay healthy, and make sure that we're not, shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Well, the past 2 years where we 9-8 and 8-9, there were a couple of games where changed that record that we lost, close games.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think the first, what that was, we had the Rams game. We came back down 23-0. Everyone defense was just totally shit show. To where Puka, he made his name throughout the year, but in that game as well, where he walk off touchdown, where it was a blown coverage. In other games that we could have changed that 8 to 10 or 11. Just, likewise last year, the Broncos game where JT dropped the ball before he get into the end zone. AR throws a pass to AD Mitchell. AD Mitchell throws it back and get picked off for a touchdown. Stuff like that, changes your record. If you execute it a little better. Like you said, now having top 12 or top 20 defense, those things can change. And our record is not difficult as well too. But we see this over and over and over, how Houston's feel like, hey, we got all these weapons. This is a lot. This is a breeze. We're going to the AFC Championship. We can possibly go to the Super Bowl. But they haven't fixed their offensive line. That's going to be a problem right there. You got a good quarterback. You got a great quarterback. I would say they got a great quarterback. You have weapons around him. You got two running backs, Mixon and Chubb. But the offensive line right now is a struggle. They've been struggling in camp. CJ Stroud is having some issues right now. And we see a lot of things that says would be sacked. In a live game, he will be sacked because the offensive line is struggle. We don't know what Jacksonville is going to be. We don't know what Tennessee is going to be right now. They drafted, first overall. They have a new regime in GM. Coaches, year 2. We don't know. Jacksonville have a new head coach, third coach in 6 years for their quarterback. So it's wide open for anybody to win this division. It's not out to say, winning 10 or 11 games for Indy will be an issue. We just, have to execute those plays to where it changes the outcome of these games that we lost, where we could have been winning 10 games or 9 games or winning the division as we would have won year 1, where, if Gardner throws a better pass or Tyler Goodson catches a pass on 4th down and 2, we convert the first down and drive, keep going. So those things does happen. We just bad luck. Bad luck.
I think it's bad coaching too. I think some of it is bad luck. Some of it was bad coaching. Like when you lose 4 or 5 one-possession games, like, okay, 1, 2, fine, right? Like whatever. 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
It's just bad coaching. It's just bad coaching. And
but is it bad coaching from the head coach, or is it bad coaching at the behest of coordinators?
it could be everyone. Here's the way I see it. It could be bad coaching from the coordinators, which means that to me, over the course of a season, if it's happening multiple times, what is the head coach saying to these coordinators to change something? Right? It goes back to accountability. Who's holding him responsible to say, dude, we're not running this defense anymore. If you don't want to run it, something different. I will find somebody that will, because we have an OC. What was the OC's name? Like same thing with the OC. What was his name?
James Robert Charcuterie.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Like,
You're
it's the
welcome.
same thing, like, what are you doing differently? And I so, yeah, I see it top down, right? Ballard failed, Shane Steichen for not holding him accountable, who didn't hold the coordinators accountable, and it trickled down to the players. And so, like, it's common sense management to me. Like, it's management 101. Like, it starts at the top and it comes down. And we're trying to make this from the bottom up, and it's just not how it works. So, it's little things that catch that ball on that hitch route that was wide open. Throw the ball out of bounds. You know, make sure you're in the right zone for this play, even though you hate this stupid defense and you can't stand it. Like,
Right.
it's just like little things like that that I just think this team. I just don't think we've had a disciplined football team in a long time, and that's what's
Yeah,
led to a lot of these types of
I
yeah,
agree.
I agree with that.
Any final remarks before we get out of here from Austin? Before we let Chris have his final remarks, and tell us what he got coming up. No,
good.
go ahead and let us know what you got coming up, and and plug in your
Yeah,
information.
yeah, 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 absolutely. Like I said, I know you can never get sick of Colts content, right? So, like I said, you can catch us Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6:15 Central. And then, like I said, just come over here. After you go ahead, you eat your dinner or you get your snacks, and you make sure that you come over here and just watch the guys. Because, like I said, it's an I'm going to say it's an atmosphere that allows you to be able to go ahead and just watch everybody. And like I said, everybody has something different to say. So you can absolutely 100% respect all perspectives. Um, as far as I go, I will be at training camp this Sunday. So this way we'll be able to just go out there, see what's going on, just see if we can pick some of the players' brains about the results of this Thursday's game coming up. But yeah, so and also I don't know what you guys have planned yet, but I definitely will be out there week 1. So
We
I don't
still
know
we still in
what
the
you.
we're still in the planning process. I
All right,
almost have
I will not be there.
week 18 book, week 18 in Houston book, so I almost have that pretty much
I
in
got
line.
you.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. Week 18 is booked. Yes.
Yeah, Austin. I know the baby won't be there yet, so you're gonna be there week 1.
I'm not sure.
Yo, I don't like how non-committal you are.
We'll have to see. Only
Uh,
if only if he's fined, he'll be there.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought about week 1, but yeah, week 1 would have been incredible having Jim Irsay go to Ring of Honor. That would be the game. Um, so I wish I could have been there as well to see how the atmosphere be. Just seeing the crowd and hopefully win a week 1 game. That's the
Hopefully.
plan. So yeah, you said so. Yeah, Sunday, and you. Oh yeah. We had to bring you back on if you're available. Come back on.
Hey, you already know. You already know. Like I said, if y'all invite me, I'm going to be there. And like I said, if you want, we can just go ahead and even do a follow up next week, just talking about, like I said, this week in training camp and all that. So, like I said, whatever works for y'all works for me. Just holler at me, and we're going to make it happen.
You hear that, guys? He said it. He'll be back on next week. I didn't have to ask. I didn't have to ask. So we have
They always say once you go home, you're never gonna leave.
I love it. I love it. I also live by Papa was a Rolling Stone, so it's just like I I I got many hats, so I have many homes, and it's just like it's all good. But like I said, it's all love being back here. I appreciate everybody, and like I said, I love y'all as always. So
it's all right.
like I said, we'll go ahead and we'll talk some more. So
You want to share what happened? I think you was on the podcast yesterday.
TSS Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah. I had to whoop a Titans fan in trivia because I'm good like that. So you know what it
Oh,
is. Yeah, you know what it is. It's just like
oh,
they didn't have any questions about Mayo, so they had no actual advantage over me. So I was like, hey, okay, cool.
Well, especially when you got your rookie quarterback saying that your practice are mid, so there's nothing really they can say.
I mean, that's the Titans as a franchise, isn't it?
Yeah, their
Yeah,
meeting. So,
Hey, at least we know for a fact they won't be delivering any more hamburgers to the practice facility.
yeah.
oh, Jalen Hurts. Oh man.
No, buddy. No, buddy.
Oh
Well, I mean, well, based on what we've seen so far from Cam Ward, they may not be delivering burgers, but there's plenty of turnovers to go around. So
He's
that
going to
sounds like a
turn the
great
ball
thing,
a lot. Yeah, he's going to have a disaster first year.
and
He's
I'm
going
going to love it.
because he's a gunslinger. He's just going to chuck it up. That's what he did in Miami. Like that's
Yep.
just how he rolls.
And you know what? He might have
And
had
it's
a better O
exciting.
line in Miami than he did in Tennessee, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. We'll have that discussion a bit later
Oh
today.
yeah, for sure. He
definitely
definitely.
talk about that next week since we have the recap of Thursday game and then other things that Chris have on his plate for us interviewing and being in training camp. So we'll as we would say, it be back to back. It'll be on back
Yep.
to back episodes. I think I got comments before we go ahead and go. I think she's making fun of you.
Hey, appreciate you, Teresa. Appreciate you, Teresa. Hey, listen. You already know our OC, James Robert Charcuterie. Like it is what it is. But you know what? We will see you later. And yeah, I appreciate y'all as always. So
Yes.
Sure.
Any remarks, guys? We're gonna go ahead and get out of here now.
No, I don't think so.
Consistency is the key.
Consistency is the key. And what'd you say, Father?
Nah, I'm good. Have a good night.
The
All right.
famous three-letter words. The famous three words of Austin Cook.
Yes. Follow us on all our social medias. I'm one of the hosts who is our senior, Cook Austin 2, the Uncle Gandhi, and CJ Coast fan. Also, you can subscribe to our channel and also follow social medias as well. But good night, guys. We'll see y'all next week with the same Final Four.
you know.
On one out snap, it's a fact that I'm unstoppable. Forget your